The mood's actually really good right now. Like, we're feeling happy, we're feeling content. Even if the results don't come through, we say it is what it is and we move on. But Falcons, I feel like, are under pressure to perform. I have to say, I feel like they definitely are under pressure to perform. Madden almost misses his shot under pass there. Already JamYoung with the P250's got an opening tap, and Advent actually pushes him down. Advent could get two here. There we go, Advent. Snappy can't deal with him. 4v2 for TYLOO, and they're going to walk the bomb toward B.
Perfect. Perfect call from TYLOO. They go in towards mid. They win the fight. Snappy jumps out the window to try and trade Advent. He goes straight into a Glock bullet. And suddenly they all group together for the mid round. They're about to execute onto B. And there's no one home. Dupree's the closest player, but he's just outside the doorway. He will not be here in time before that bomb gets planted.
Yeah, and of course no kits on some players or Dupree. Look at this angle for JamYoung. There's always a chance in pistol rounds to make impossible-looking retakes happen, and that's a nice preempt from Dupree. Sees the shoulder straight away, and he takes Advent straight away as well. It's turned on its head straight away. ZDR and Kaze, of course, Kaze with no Kevlar here. Dupree checking every single angle, but that's a really important headshot from ZDR. Now, some Pius, I think he kind of has figured out where both these players are playing from, but that's a lovely double headshot from ZDR. His individual level was great against G2. His 1 versus 4 was something to remember, and he started off on Mirage against Falcons really nicely.
It's the impact. I feel like you're looking at a closer now for TYLOO potentially, because in these last couple of games, his clutches, that shot was sick from JamYoung. Yes. But here we go. Honestly, this round, you take a look at it at face value. This is what TYLOO needs to match consistently throughout an entire series. A JamYoung opener, ZDR being the closer, Advent chiming in with contributions, but suddenly you get Kaze and Mercury online. This team's cooking.
Not wrong. Some Pius forced off the balcony. Good utility from TYLOO as they go for an execute toward A here, but it is against many pistols. They do need to be careful. There's that CZ removed. It's a full belt of everything in the game, really. 2 MP9s, 5.7, Deagle, and that CZ, of course, that has gone down. And TYLOO, I think, have figured this one out nicely. Advent will get the bomb planted on default.
Good Mercury. It's just already
Mercury. Yeah. My boy's on a mission. And Falcons will try and use this force buy to the best of their ability in the next round, but maybe only 2 weapons because Mercury on that mission has already taken 1 more, and that's a lovely cash buffer for him. He gives the MAC-10 over to Advent so he can be the one to hunt instead. He'll get taken down, but this is a confident start from TYLOO.
A really good sort of like map management in this round for TYLOO. They expect the force. It's pretty meta, of course. On the CT side, lose the pistol, bring it close. You're going to invest in. So what they do instead is they go for an execute because they know the utility won't be there to really hold them back. There won't really be like sort of counter smokes, mollies being thrown on towards the positions, and they just split immediately. It's very direct, but it's exactly what the doctor ordered in a round like this. Even just using the molly to flush out players underneath Palace. And from here, even some good collections of kills, just buffering their bank just a little bit more. And because of that force, Falcons have had to save. They've got pistols again. They obviously Dupree, Snappy saving those SMGs. But aside from that, there's a pretty bare bones buy yet again. So TYLOO are going to rinse and repeat. Dupree round the corner, straight into ZDR.
Yeah, tries to take the initiative once he's throwing the utility. Maybe catch him with the gun out, but Snappy. Oh, and Madden chiming in too. Not bad from Falcons, considering the madness there. TYLOO with JamYoung and Kaze have a 2 versus 1. Magisk playing with the 5.7. Oh my goodness. If he flicked onto JamYoung there, that would have been an instant headshot, of course. We know the 5.7 is incredibly dangerous, but TYLOO figure it out and get a really nice, clean start.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you just take a little bit of a breath if you're TYLOO, because sure, some of these rounds are being a little bit more expensive, but doesn't matter. Now here's the most important thing. Getting over the first stumbling block, which could be the gun round. AWP out immediately for some Pius. No AWP in sight for Kaze, and ZDR is still operating with a Galil. You can see the burden of some of these casualties being inflicted by the pistols. Dupree taking really good leverage in towards mid, but he's here completely on his own. zone, but he might even still be overlooked. Is anyone going to look for him? Yes, Mercury will find the first, and TYLOO are accelerating over to B.
Yeah, straight up short with a B split, and the pace is not keeping it comfortable for Falcons. Bit of an awkward lineup there, but Advent still hits a really important headshot, and it's those sort of kills. If you can find a way to take those, it takes so much pressure, of course, off the other 4 players on TYLOO, and Advent has started very decently individually today. One of the main focus points of TYLOO, and a great strategy called works out against Falcons. Some pass forced to save the AWP, Magisk to do the same. We see kills come through from a position like dupreeh has played, behind those smokes, top mid, playing an angle, but the flash was perfectly timed. Couldn't do anything. They check him, as you say. Sometimes it can go overlooked. And TYLOO will be delighted with how they've begun here.
Oh, man. This is worrying. We're still early stages, but it's like, oh, okay, TYLOO have come to play.
Yes, I'm excited.
This is sick, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited by this.
It's what's interesting as well is the fact that they just immediately send it straight up short after they get that contact on dupreeh. As soon as they confirm the kill, it's immediate acceleration, and TYLOO are not really known for doing that. We even saw yesterday against G2 on Ancient, they were slowing things down. They were waiting until the last 45 seconds to make a move. Some Pius in the window, hoping, praying he can get a start, and that is a fantastic self-flash from Madden, an opener here on the CT side.
Yeah, he's managed to remove Advent this time. A good nade onto Mercury, top mid as well. dupreeh, short player, Madden, con player. Mercury forced to deploy his smoke to keep himself alive. And he hasn't really got much support top mid other than maybe Kaze with a few flashes, so he's going to do it himself. What a great pick that is onto dupreeh. Gets away with it on 12 HP as well. Falcons knew they had him locked in.
This is nice.
Couldn't get away from it, and I agree with you. They need to look for some information here, Falcons.
Yeah, you give up the mid space, so now you go hunting, or trade spacing is there in the end. It felt like Madden was going to go a little bit ahead, and potentially JamYoung could have profited. Instead, it's a man advantage back in favor for this Falcons squad.
Oh!
Mercury, that is gross, but that also provides an outlet. 40 seconds, and TYLOO are up to their trickery. Look at the rotates on the minimap. All these dots moving towards B off the back of that one kill, and Mercury slides in for even more. This round's completely turned on its head. 25 seconds left, and TYLOO have got A for free.
Look at Madden. Did you see him just doubling back over and over? They've got no idea what's going on here. Madden didn't know which way to turn. He's now in a good position. ZDR might get caught off here, and he will be. But TYLOO have some utility to put this bomb down. Molotov on jungle, smoke on con, and Mercury is still lurking around on 12 HP. He's done so much work in this round. Kaze standing his ground will deal with Madden. It's all down to Magisk. And look at Mercury. He's again in a really unpredictable position, and he gets a quad kill from this. TYLOO are making Falcons look lost.
Yeah, that is fantastic mid-rounding, though, from TYLOO. And it all comes from just from the poke and prod on the extremities. It all starts with Falcons getting aggressive, not once but twice. But Mercury trades it out of both instances on the other side of the map. This shot onto some Pius is so fantastic because it creates so much room and unpredictability for TYLOO. And even the position that Kaze plants on the reverse side of triple just means that Mercury can remain in mid and be a nuisance. Straight out A again. Every single time Falcons run a low buy, TYLOO return in. And maybe this time it can go more in favor because Magisk is churning up heads with that 5-7. ZDR and Kaze looking to pick up the pieces, but it is such a heavily fortified bomb site. Snappy will find one more, and Kaze can't do a thing. Falcons are just able to get that one through. It comes in a round you don't expect, but they etch their name on the scoreboard.
Finally, yeah, the 5-7 of Magisk. I mentioned that he can so often be the player. We know how consistent he is, but he can just have that one round every now and then, right, which keeps his team in the game or pushes them across the line. As you say, that 5-7, I mean, so powerful, playing those angles, dancing around the smoke. Honestly, superb job from Magisk there. Could not have done better. and he gets Falcons off the board. And of course, the rounds have been close, so TYLOO have not built up much money. They have one more full purchase. Falcons have a chance to make it a close game off the back of pretty much just one round.
That's a great round to win as well, psychologically. It's like a low buy you've dealt with, and you know what TYLOO are up to in a round like this. You overstack the A-bomb site, and it pays off massively. So a good call from Snappy, and also just getting some of your individuals online. That should be a turning point. However, TYLOO are reassessing the situation, and where these mid-rounds have been quite slow over the past couple, they're going to send it on a full exec. Snappy up close to the MP9, looking to do the damage, but ZDR, he's just straight out the window. No one has cleared Snappy, so he finds the first immediate trade out from ZDR, and suddenly, TYLOO have infiltrated this bomb site. It doesn't come with cost, and it comes potentially with Dupree being a fly in the ointment. Are they ready for him? Yes, but Advent can't lock in the kill.
That's down to Kaze, and that's a lovely duck under the sight line there from Sunpius. Important round for Falcons. It's good for TYLOO to get that plant. They actually committed to it and got it in a 2 versus 4 anyway. That was, smart from Advent to make sure they locked in that bonus cash. It means they could buy on 3 players here. We'll see if they commit to it. Sometimes when you can get majority rifles and get 3, it is worth it, but yeah, Snappy doing so much work, and Dupree on short as well, seeing it from his POV. Again, great impact from him, and that's how Sunpius got off the board on Mirage. So yes, that plant does commit them to this purchase. I mentioned that they have at least 3 rifles. They've got 4 with 2 Galils. So good plant from Advent, keeps TYLOO buying up. Falcons need to stay on point.
I think this game is now going to turn into just reactionary from Falcons, because that's where they've been operating some of their best work. Yeah. They've been going for these mid-round plays and trying to disrupt and take the map control away from TYLOO. TYLOO have always found an outlet, but instead responding immediately, Ooh. It was pretty good, but Mercury has weaseled his way in towards Murder Hole. Dupree dealt with. The thing is, his position can be such a pain in the ass to deal with if you're the Falcons. As this delegates Snappy right here, Magisk at least gets pressure back by getting a kill in towards Palace. Now he can take the space. So suddenly TYLOO are completely constrained towards A and all fighting forward from all these different angles.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame for TYLOO. As you say, such a power position for Mercury. I mean, you can do so much from that area of the map. You can lock off rotations. The CT side can't exactly just hop through the murder hole. It's called that for a reason. And Sunpius is kind of delivered here to give Falcons a settler. Unless Mercury and Kaze can do something ridiculous, but there is an insurance policy here with Magisk on the flank. And Madden has taken Kaze as well. There is Magisk on that flank, and that's a really nice one for Falcons. 4 players alive as well. The economy has been bolstered. They can breathe a little bit now, knowing they've got the economy advantage, even though they're a couple of rounds behind. It's been a great start from TYLOO, but of course we have seen that yesterday as well, so can't just be a good start. It has to be a good finish as well.
This is another example of reactive mid-rounding, and it all comes off the back of Magisk getting very aggressive in towards Palace and then taking the space beyond it, not just resting on his laurels or standing on top of the balcony, because by him removing that angle, that means that Sunpius can then get involved on the top of ticket booth. He can have a shot down towards connector, get rid of some of these players that are trying to scale alongside JamYoung. So a very nice play. A pause from TYLOO as well, 30 seconds to reevaluate their strategy that was working really well. The issue now is the money. It's finally sort of got to a boiling point for them. It has to just be pistols. And Falcons can bring this to within just 1 round.
Yeah, it should be. I said the gap is 2, but realistically, it's going to be 1. I do feel as though TYLOO had a little bit more success overall on their T sides than their CT sides. Obviously, firepower can maybe come down to that too. Nice kill from Snappy. No one dig for Kaze, and Madden makes sure Mercury can't advance top mid. Some dinks would be nice, and they do get that. It's actually Advent to hit the Deagle headshot this time. Nade should be clear. Almost is. It forces him back away, though, into the arms of Snappy. It's just JamYoung looking to try and beat a nuisance. He's got 3 players holding his angle and 2 pushing him down. And he only got a Glock, but it's in these sort of situations where, you know, wasting as much time as possible, forcing Falcons to use all their utility. So they have to repurchase it, of course. Every little helps. Some Pius will actually miss that shot. Is he going to try a plant here? He realizes it's the AWP. He's picked up the Deagle. I don't think this plant will be allowed, and absolutely not. Dupree finishes it, and there is the one gap. The one round gap for Falcons.
It's interesting what you were saying about the T side, and I feel like that's because TYLOO feel a lot more in control, and they can sort of dictate the fights on their terms, which is a lot harder to do on the CT side, unless you're being aggressive and being quite proactive in the early stages of the round, which they did like to do against G2, especially on Inferno. I feel like I'm just the thing I'm impressed with the most out of... Okay, good adjustment. The thing I've been impressed with the most out of TYLOO is the fact that they have had so much variation in only sort of the 2.5 maps we've seen out of them. Like, yeah, a lot of differentials, and that can really keep a team guessing. Nice job from Advent, by the way, because Madden went for that same play a few rounds before. Dupree tries it once more, but just standing on top of that rail means that he's not affected by the flashbang, and he finds the opening kill.
Exactly right. I mean, we speak a lot. Everyone speaks a lot about Advent's individual level, but he doesn't need to be, you know, dropping 20 every game. Like a 5 and 9 KD, getting important kills like this, that's fine as long as he's not a liability. And yeah, I think he can continue with this sort of form, then absolutely no problem at all for TYLOO. But the problem is he does drop those 1 and 13 stinkers every now and then. We are going in toward B. Actually, a good choice right now, but oh my goodness, you saw that. Snappy was about to get caught by Mercury, but some Pius has saved his life, and that could change the outcome of this round. That could have spiraled otherwise. Madden's doing so much more damage as well. He's dinked up JamYoung. They're looking to swap, they are. Swing with the AWP, can try and get the rifle to trade. Good Molotov timing by Advent, but now he's last alive. Magisk has got himself both JamYoung and Kaze, and Advent is very stuck. And Falcons figure out the situation again. Crazy how Counter-Strike is just pinned on timings and pinned on those split-second maneuvers. If Mercury flanked Snappy on short there, that could have fallen apart for Falcons.
Yeah, that's that shot right there. And it's actually very interesting because Falcons took space in towards ramp, and you feel like that would probably free up a rotation to go towards B. And instead, it puts some Pius just rooted, holding middle because of the smokes that TYLOO dropped, because they came in towards top connector, they came in towards window. So it felt like they were looking to take that space, or at the very least, go in towards short. So good presence of mind. Because you're right, had that kill gone the other way, it feels like it could have been a TYLOO round. Limited utility, back to A, another execute on the horizon, and the rotation from Madden will be here in time.
Utility heard, utility seen. Falcons ready to do work, but Madden gets caught by Mercury on the entry. But there is a snake in the grass here. Hang on a moment. Snappy, oh, he is being checked properly. That's really nice basis covered there by Kaze. That is so nice. It looks like they weren't considering firebox at all, but he takes a few little pot shots I should say, through the corner of the box. Here's the dink, and finishes him off. And despite the fact we've got 4 players, in fact everyone, on TYLOO, tagged up, 3 being significantly, should be a TYLOO round. Now, Falcons could do something a bit cheeky here. They've got so much money. The next round is the final round of the half. Are they going to try and chuck a player in for a smoke defuse? It's actually worth it in this scenario. They are going for it. Some Pius with 1. Dupree looking to swing, but there are still players holding it. And it's the right choice from Falcons to go for that. But Mercury will stop them, and he's up to 12 now. Great opening map of today of Pro League for Mercury.
I want to talk about that smoke that's thrown on towards CT because it actually looks like it misses, but it isn't. TYLOO have been throwing this in a lot of their Mirage games, and what it does is it completely locks off that right-hand side. You see how it trickles down? And it allows them to take space in towards connector and in towards jungle. So they pair that with a top connector smoke, and they take space beyond the bomb site in towards jungle before the bomb's even down. So it's a nice little innovative move from TYLOO. They've been using that quite a lot. They were using it at the Esports World Cup qualifiers as well against Rare Atom. So
yeah, it's those sort of strategies that can work at every level, right? I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's a very smart play. And they're at least guaranteed a tie on the first half. This is what we kind of saw yesterday, though, of course. First up against G2 was a pretty solid 7-5 for G2, but TYLOO stayed in touch. And then G2 very much pulled away. Second map was very competitive. I want TYLOO, for their sake, to stay competitive in this game and not fall away in that second half. We shall see, though. As you have rightly mentioned, Brandon, setting the pace is what TYLOO do seem to feel comfortable with.
It's tricky, though, especially in this round with Magisk pushing already in towards ramp. It feels like you can just recycle smokes over at B and just keep TYLOO penned in. There's also an opportunity for him to go for a flank. There's that activation, and ZDR will find Snappy. Boost up for dupreeh, will profit on towards Mercury. But Madden, overwhelmed. ZDR has opened up this B bomb site, but dupreeh is still licking and battering and bruising all of these players as they cross through the apartment window. Bomb will go down, but this enables the flank. Look at how fast it is from Magisk.
Oh, here we go again. He's done this once already, Magisk, and he could do it again. Oh, what a Molotov from JamYoung, but he still might lose the duel, and he will, and the molly won't finish off Magisk either. It's all down to ZDR. We saw an incredible clutch from him against G2 yesterday. Can he do it again? There's one. He's got Magisk on low HP, and dupreeh to find. Dancing with the angles with empty pillar. There's the low HP, but he can't strafe away. It's a real nice try, but dupreeh, ever the reliable hand, gets a quad kill to even up the first half of Mirage for Falcons.
Are you a particularly ordered man? Does everything have to be at the right diameter and measured the desk and everything?
Yes.
Oh, this looks like pristine. Is this a new mouse pad or do you just look after it?
I look after it actually a lot. But yeah, I am just I don't overthink about it, but obviously I don't like them. I clean the mouse pad.
Yeah.
Every week.
What's your secret? Microfiber cloth or what do you use to?
Yeah, it's just like some humid. You call it humid. Humid like. I don't know,
the
paper,
rug?
Yeah,
Yes. Okay.
just move it around and just let it dry, and that's it.
Oh, damn, it does look pristine. But there's some parts getting set up. You feeling good? Feeling like you kind of got the fifth player integrated so far? How long have you had to get him settled in?
I mean, he's a really nice guy. He's also a really good player. He was really fast, and we also had like 1 month, maybe a bit more, for practice. And I think we improved a lot.
Yeah.
And I think we created a system now that we can be confident on. And obviously, I think we are in a pretty good spot to do a good job here on Pro League.
Yeah, and just last question, in terms of your individual form, you set such a high bar for yourself when you were in the initial ENCE roster where you were so consistently, I think you were very in tune with the team's plannings, you were being able to get the best out of you with Snappy's calls. I'm sure that system takes a while to introduce new players to. Do you feel like now you're being set up, you kind of have the freedoms you used to have in ENCE?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, I feel really confident right now, and I always had the freedom with Marco, and I think the system that Marco creates is also helping me a lot. So I am really confident, and I can do whatever I feel to do.
Amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing it, bro. Keep it going.
I'm love maxing. I'm doing it. TYLOO 6 rounds on the T side of Mirage, and it felt like it could have been more. There were some really good individual efforts bailing out the Falcons on a number of those rounds. Think back to Dupree quad kill just to end it there. Magisk just making sure on that 5-7 on A that Falcons were able to get their first round of play. And now they're on the T side. It's TYLOO with the defense. Falcons need to come up with some solutions to the problems, and fast.
Yeah, impressive from TYLOO, and the Asia region teams are having a great start to the day. Mongols 8-3 up on G2 on the A stream. Incredible. See if they can translate that one into a map 1 victory. Can we see the same from TYLOO? This is going to be tough for them though. And try and make their way up connector, our Falcons. But that's a beautiful tap from Advent on the P2000. Looking for more, holding angles, getting dinked through Ticket. But he's going to have teammate support. In a matter of moments, they're not looking for JamYoung. Oh, it's a bit whiffy, but he gets it in the end, and he's looking for a second. Even allowed to get a reload off is JamYoung. Still dancing around. Magisk just can't find him. It's ugly, it's messy, but that's how we love it. Brawly Counter-Strike, Madden still can't remove JamYoung from the little cubby behind the box. Firebox is a beautiful place for JamYoung to do all his best work, but Snappy can still do this. It's down to Kazi with the dualies. What a ridiculous pistol round this is. 40 seconds to figure out a winner between Snappy and Kaze. And Snappy all smartly trying to elevate his position, but Kaze catches him through triple. And, well, I have no words.
If you're Falcons, you're pissed off. Those are my words. You've had 2 opportunities to kill JamYoung. You know exactly where he is, and both players just completely whiff on him. And then from there, it's a biff and a brawl back from Snappy. Some sharp shots to remind Falcons of how to do it. And suddenly, he gets completely railed by a wall bang with the dualies. I mean, come on.
What?
That one stings.
So that's TYLOO with both pistols. Deserves to be said. Makes a big difference in MR12. Map of Counter-Strike. But of course, Falcons... I say of course. There was no bomb plant in that pistol, but they've still chosen to force up. This is interesting now. Utility... Tech 9s, Mac 10s, ZDR does a decent job to do 1 and damage, but JamYoung's under pressure and he has to get in a reload. Madden is pushing him down and he has to reload in the open. Forced wide into Magisk. But look at Kaze, MP9 flank. He could have another important frag to make here. He's going to deny the bomb plant, and he even switches to the short player too. Snappy's got 1 HP. Beautifully done by Kaze, and TYLOO have a chance to pull clear on CT side.
Yeah, smart from Kaze there. He just delays his push towards underpass. He has a little bit of a jiggle, doesn't see anyone, but kind of gets an inkling. And obviously confirmed by the flashbangs over the top, and that's where he decides to make his move. So Falcons are not ready just for the pace of the flank. I really like the entry path in, though, just to kind of eliminate JamYoung. He takes 1, and then he's fumbling with his magazine. So they overwhelm him, and it feels like they were able to set up potentially an afterplan, but that gets denied by that MP9. Force buy doesn't work, but Snappy will go on a hero Galil.
Hero Galil. I was actually a little bit concerned about Kaze's flank for a second in that previous round too, because he actually went for the planter first rather than the low HP player he spotted toward bench first, and often... Oh, he's doing it again. Hang on a second, Dupree turns around at the last second. No knife this time, but extra $600 still for Kaze. Bit of body blocking in window for TYLOO, but they're safe for now. JamYoung is given free reign to tap his way to some more frags from window toward top mid, and ZDR finds his. Kaze finds another. He's really racking up the cash as Kaze. He can play bonus round on this one for TYLOO as well with the picked up Galil and have that future AWP the round after, even if it goes south. TYLOO starting fantastically, Brandon, on both sides of this map.
Yeah, and I feel like that's an indication. You win the pistol, you win the follow-ups. That's 6 rounds that TYLOO have accumulated just from translating the pistol. So it's a very nice showing from them immediately. Falcons do their best work on the gun rounds, it would seem, on Mirage. So they're going to try and do it again, scaling very fast. Madden looking to clear, but the flashbang support network from Mercury is incredible. And he tries to step in alongside Advent, but Magisk will get both. JamYoung, ZDR around the corner. And in fact, these have got to be the only players to do the damage. JamYoung burns alive, and that's a really fast play out of the Falcons. It completely is a sucker punch to TYLOO.
Got to give Falcons credit for that one. I mean, that is a change-up that TYLOO were not ready for. They knew they were on slightly lesser weaponry, of course, still on that bonus round, even though it was still a Galil and FAMASs and stuff, and even though Advent managed to get one, incredibly, it's the only kill TYLOO get in this round. The bench smoke swing to try and help out Advent, try and get a trade, didn't come through. In a different universe, perhaps a lineup does occur, but not this time, and that's a lovely change up from Falcons. They'll reach 7. They survive with 4 players alive. ZDR will save the FAMAS, but I mentioned the money. TYLOO are set to fully invest and keep the pressure on.
Yeah, and Karza can get an AWP off the back of it as well.
Yep.
That bench swing is just really common, so you fully anticipate it. If there was another flash able to be set up for Mercury, that could have been a different story. But I really like the amount of pace they injected into that round, Falcons, and the fact that they still push on the gas even after they get those 2 entry kills. They take the space in towards CT. They give TYLOO, rather than a question mark of can we retake, an exclamation mark of no, we need to save, fight for mid. Instead, 4 players committed to this setup. Meanwhile, for Falcons, 4 players about to breach A.
Oh, again, trying to stay quick with this, and Kaze not expecting a mass palace swing. He gets one, but only one. 4v4, Molly towards stairs. That will hold back some of that rotation from TYLOO, and Mercury's taken so much damage from that. Magisk once again taking control toward CT, and Dupree is even on a mass flank too. TYLOO are obviously going to be going for this, but Dupree could just put an end to it. Nice little spam through the smoke. Magisk is taking a lot of damage, but once again he's clean with it, and he even gets help. There you go, he gets the help from Dupree in the end. Great teamwork from Magisk and Dupree. All that years of experience is really helping out in this opening map, it feels like. Magisk 14 kills, Dupree same scoreline, both topping that scoreboard in the server. It's very even across the board actually for both teams. And Falcons close the gap to 1.
Yeah, it felt like initially Dupree was playing his own little mini-game of preventing TYLOO from saving. But when they start going for the retake, he's called into action to be a little bit more of an immediate effect. Kaze feels like he can get back towards CT, but as you mentioned, just not ready for the sheer quantity of players that were coming out towards Palace. Maybe expected 1, wasn't ready for 3. So is that a bomb site that's still showing vulnerability? And that's obviously off the back of TYLOO putting the majority of their manpower in towards middle to try and keep that contested. But with these fast plays on towards A, it's also conditioning now being set in from Falcons. 2 quick plays have infiltrated and unlocked that A bomb site. So now you're going to have to invest more players to remain rooted on the extremities, which will leave mid open for future rounds for the T side.
Yeah, and we mentioned, of course, TYLOO do seem a lot more comfortable on T than CT in this tournament so far. They have been exposed on CT a couple of times. It's their T sides where they've been staying in touch. And with only a 1-round lead, we'll have to see if they can throw anything different in the mix to keep that buffer, or if Falcons really are in pole position now. It kind of feels like they are, even though they're a round behind. Who knows, though? A JamYoung and Mercury A1S duo can do a lot of damage. I can tell you that the Mongols are 12-4 up on G2 on the A stream.
Okay.
Damn is the right word. But
They've been cooking.
But more of a damn rather than a damn. Because that is an incredible scoreline for Mongols. They could be about to take map 1 and G2 under some pressure.
So it's the own medicine, perhaps, here. Falcons go for a B split. Dupree needs to clear ladder, but can't get past Mercury. But that is one of the rifles heavily committed in towards the short side. And the pistols on site are trying not to reveal themselves. Great angle from Madden. We'll deal with JamYoung, and ZDR feels the same fate. And with Snappy locking off rotations in towards mid, this feels like the T side have got things under control again.
That looks so easy for Madden, but the pathing to get onto that van angle, to have that little sight line over towards short pillar, it's just, years of experience, knowing how to make yourself as hard to kill as possible, right? I mean, when you entry through the apartments on B, how many angles do you have to check? So try and keep yourself as safe as possible. And talking of keeping yourself safe, there's lots of fights going down still on the exits here. Advent will chuck a smoke towards short to try and aid TYLOO's save. And Kaze will still play close to the Deagle because he wants a kill with Advent, trying to find the weaponry, and they've done exactly that. So AK recovered on Kaze, Snappy removed, so no threat of those guns being taken down. I think TYLOO will be pretty content with this save. They've got a lot to work with in this following round now. The save gives them full utility across all their players, at least it should.
Yeah, you come into that round with 2 rifles and pistols. You come out of that round with an upgraded rifle and an AK. And I guess, look, a MAC-10. That's not the best thing in the world, but at least Advent will have that utility because he likes to prioritize setting up his stars. This has kind of been the feature piece of TYLOO. It's Advent that will sacrifice his numbers, but in best efforts to try and set up the rest of his team. Falcons want A once more, but it's going to come with resistance. Advent on the MAC-10 needs to be careful. Kaze actually wins out the fight, and Dupree full blind, can't deal with the trade. Advent on the MAC-10 will also find a kill, and Dupree, whilst he will deal with Advent, it comes at 80%, in fact maybe more of his health. He lives with a sliver.
14 HP left on Dupree, a wobbly spray. He gets his kill, but that is a great play to put in place for TYLOO, keeping themselves hard to predict. You've got Kaze going aggressive toward ramp. That's what we want to see from him. And he once again bests some Pius. And Advent with that MAC-10, that's exactly what his job was in that round. Just stay maneuverable, be a nuisance, be the support to Kaze. That was really well done from the A players. But it might be down to the B players. Dupree has been told, right, stay toward A, stay as a lurk, see if they go aggressing for information. You're low HP anyway. And Falcons will go for a split up connector to make it harder to predict. Kaze is going to be in position in a moment or two to hold Con. Oh, it just falls off of it at the wrong time. He's obviously trying to plan a flash for his teammate, but if he held that Con angle, he could have got a nice pick, and Dupree will now be making his way out of Palace. Mercury, though, will go unchecked, and that's a really nice frag to take. He takes Snappy as well. Lovely for Mercury. He's 16 and 11, and make that 17. That is spot on from Mercury and from TYLOO.
That's a bit scary there, because on Mercury's screen, you can see Dupree's head just lurking on the left-hand side. But obviously, he's so focused on dealing with these players. Really good mid-round from TYLOO. The decision to get close in towards ramp allows that space for Kaze just to delegate his attention, obviously, between the murder hole and checking that players haven't wrapped in towards CT as the play slows down from the Falcons. But also, it means it gives him access to peek up and see in towards connector, peer in over the top, and be a pain. It's actually the rifler that does everything, but it's Mercury's position that really sets TYLOO up for success in the first place. They find double digits, and they're not satisfied with holding on to this control and towards mid. They want to take the whole lot. That's been spotted by Madden. JamYoung in ladder.
Information. And of course, that Molotov can sometimes spread up the wood there. Be pretty awkward, and a Snappy will just double it down. JamYoung at least has a smoke, and he can keep himself alive. Mercury will be flashed in, though, and they break open the window smoke. That's beautiful from TYLOO. Madden caught off guard by that. Early 5 versus 4. Of course, Mercury and JamYoung slightly low from their troubles, but the frag is what matters. And now the standoff. JamYoung in window. Snappy looking to see if he's still in that position, but Mercury's doing more work again. How many kills has he got on slivers of health in this game? That must be about 6 he's got on less than 20 HP. Well, less than 30 HP, I should say. He's doing so much work, and now 30 seconds. Falcons making their way up connector, and that's when JamYoung moves. That could be so awkward for Falcons, and look at that. That's the bomb in connector, and the Molotov locks them out. JamYoung wallbangs Dupree. Snappy is stuck, and TYLOO lead 11-9.
And where's your money? Where's your money, Falcons? It's non-existent. What a play from TYLOO. Again, something they've been working on. I've been following them in previous tournaments, Esports World Cup qualifiers. They blew open the smokes quite a lot on that CT side, and it feels like they were testing sort of the rounds in which to do it in. That is perfect. You get completely mollied in towards window if you're JamYoung. So instead, Mercury goes aggressive, and then he's not satisfied there. He moves, he floats, and there's that extra player over towards the A-bomb site. Again, locking out these extremities. Magisk can't deal with him, and from there, he takes the space. And again, that creates Kaze's ability to peek in towards mid a little bit more freely. It's so nicely done, and it's JamYoung's ability to be able to take these risks at the same time, because he's got the player in from short. He knows he's got Kaze. They can keep setting up these crossfires, which means you've got this flexible player that can continue to be a disruption.
And what did I say about Advent, right? He's being a perfect teammate for his stars in this game, and he's doing fine individually as well. The problem is when he has his, 1 to 13 disaster classes, but this is 10 to 15. This is absolutely fine from Advent. This is allowing TYLOO to really show what they're made of in this tournament. They showed a good face against G2 yesterday, especially on map 2. And then, obviously, look at the money Falcons have. TYLOO have a great chance for 3 Mirage points. And wouldn't that be something?
Let's talk about context as well, what this game means. The loser of this will drop down to the last chance qualifier. The winner obviously remain and have an extra life.
Goodness me.
But if you look at things and you think, okay, well, Falcons, say they lose, then they go down to the last chance, and TYLOO stays afloat, and you've also got the Mongols knocking down G2. What a story that would be for the Asia region.
Wow. Another nice pick from JamYoung, making this anti-eco comfortable. Dupree's still got, of course, you've got to worry about him, but Mercury, well, he is loving life. 22 and 11. Easy spray down. There are smiles on faces. Falcons, aye, aye, aye. Look at those sheets of paper. They got no more
timeouts.
Look at all those sheets of paper. They are, they're reading Falcons like a book right now.
Yeah, literally, they've got a whole novel in front of them. No notes for Falcons as well. Obviously, they would have done prep for this, but no papers on the desk.
All the papers are in Zonic's brain and Snappy's brain, of course.
That's your last timeout.
Yeah.
Well, before they didn't have any more, but they've got one more. It's just stuffed up their sleeve. Will there be enough money for a Sun Pious Orb? That's my next question, because he's been not really online, but this guy is. Take a look at this transfer.
Oh, it's instant. Even if they had rifles, that would have been instant, right?
Oh, he doesn't have an AWP, and Snappy's on a Mac 10.
Oh. This is exciting if you're a TYLOO fan. This is really, really promising from them. Their stars are playing well. Advent is doing respectably. Kaze is hitting his shots when he needs to. He doesn't have to do much in this game, Kaze, but there is Sun Pious. Talking about not having to do much, he's not been able to do much at all. That's only his 6th kill of Mirage, but it could be such an impactful one. Doesn't matter if you've had a poor game. Impact frags at the right time are what matter. JamYoung, great positioning, and Kaze in connector takes Dupree. 4 versus 3 for TYLOO. Eking toward this finish line. Sun Pious goes for his swing and takes JamYoung, but there are still 2 players in connector. Madden, oh, he catches ZDR jumping up on the van. That could be huge. But inexperience there from ZDR to do that on that timing, and Advent goes swinging into Sun Pious. This one has legs, unless Kaze can do something ridiculous.
Don't think he's going to. I feel like he's just going to try and maybe save, but that gets denied immediately. Much better round, by the way, out of the Falcons. Yeah, that is a free AWP, but at the same time, look at what they've done in this round. They've not gone for an execute straight out the bat. They played a little bit passive. They responded to aggression that TYLOO have been showing in towards mid, and they've been showing it for the last 3 or 4 rounds. Finally, it gets punished. Sure, there's a good collection of kills here, but they take space in towards middle, and that creates gaps for Madden to work and lurk and find his way in towards that B bomb side. And there needs to be more of that from the Falcons. But they're going right back to A again. They really think this A is the source of weakness for TYLOO. And to be fair to them, they have breached it a number of times, but they're getting this aggressive play again. Some Pious will deal with Advent, but Kaze still here up close, and he will immediately trade on to Dupree. Kaze wants more, but some Pious make sure it isn't so.
And look how far JamYoung and ZDR are away from this. They're still holding B. I think they know what the right answer is on this one. Good fight from Kaze, but Advent just unable to see through the Molotov there. Some Pious has an easier view, and he's gone from 5 kills to 11 in 2 rounds.
There we go.
What did I say about impact kills at the right time? Doesn't matter if you've had a poor game if you step up at that right time. Can they save Falcons and get them to overtime? TYLOO saving correctly. And yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be, if this does go south for TYLOO, they're going to be thinking back to that round prior where ZDR jumped up on the van in a 4 versus 3, got the kill back, of course. Gave Falcons an advantage in the end, left Kaze last alive. If ZDR just positions himself toward jail, perhaps, rather than goes for the van jump. Small things that can change games. Playing a bit safer in a 4v3 could have been advisable, but that's not the TYLOO way. I think Blair will be tearing his hair out right now. Bless him. If you're watching, hope you're well. At least he's got happiness for Mongols, right?
True. Can't have everything, Blair. Final pause now being called in for TYLOO. And it's a trickle-down effect that you're speaking about, because obviously if ZDR doesn't jump up, then potentially there's not that fight that needs to be forced from TYLOO in towards middle. So it's a trickle-down effect, as we say. Overtime potentially on the horizon here if Falcons could get this one over the line. With that double save, it means that rifles can be dropped over. Kaze will still be wielding the AWP. So it's full. The arsenal's equipped heavily for both of these teams. For TYLOO, if they can take this map away from the Falcons, that's a statement piece in itself.
Yeah, statement to the entirety of Pro League. I've been seen as one of the weakest teams in the tournament. But sometimes Counter-Strike can be weird. Oh my goodness. Kaze, what a shot, what a flick. Just over the top of the smoke, Madden tries to jump his way out. Falcons mistime that one slightly. And TYLOO again get an advantage on a map point.
Now it's about holding it. Now it's about that perseverance. Stappy works his way underpass. Wants to try and take space back in towards mid with some Pious and Dupree. They've already made it out to the top boxes, and with Snappy coming in here, this does create a little bit more room. Now, what's the response from TYLOO? We've seen them going towards ramp, in towards Palace. It could be over towards this B side with JamYoung pushing pretty aggressively. He confirms this, and they can float rotates over. ZDR can't see anything in towards mid, and the A defense is very passive.
I like the choice of going passive instead, but it might catch them off guard. Rotation has to be quick. Kaze, of course, rotated around to those apartments, and now this is where it gets nervy for TYLOO. Falcons have got the bomb down. Failed Molotov on Advent. That might help out TYLOO. But the afterplant is so hard to recover. They've got so much utility, though, TYLOO. Can they keep their calm in such a difficult situation? In come the flashes. That's a great shot from Pious. He's delivering again. But JamYoung, such a late connector lurk. He's going to see Pious easily, but there's no way you guess Dupree in the same position. There's going to be a tap on the bomb. It's actually being held by ZDR right now. They can't find it! And TYLOO, at the last time of asking, have taken Mirage away from Falcons. Incredible!